Hello everyone, this is Tamer Bloba coming at you with a review for Kindred Fate's Combat Arena Alpha. So far, the Alpha has been out for about 2 months right now, so I wanted to take a look at how it's shaped up after this time and help you decide if it's at the point that it's something you'd be interested in playing, or if maybe you should wait a little bit longer. For the gameplay, we'll start off with the general gameplay and how it feels. So the gameplay is a fast-paced, real-time, action-packed combat style gameplay. Style very unique to monster taming games. But still, Sky Mill doesn't stop there. They also have what has to be my favorite part of the game, types as a playstyle. What this means is that instead of your normal fire deals ×2 damage to grass that we see so often in other monster taming games, Kindred Fates instead makes it so that it's your kinfolk's playstyle that counters the enemy's type, not just a raw damage multiplier. This leaves much more room for players skilled in other games. So here's an example of what I mean when I say types as a playstyle. Fire kinfolk's playstyle is twofold. As a zoner, they use their abilities to take control over the battlefield, whether it be to force their opponent into close combat by trapping both combatants in a ring of fire, or split the battlefield in two using a firewall to keep their distance from its opponents. Once control over a battlefield is established, Fire kinfolk will most likely use hit-and-run combat tactics. They will run over the battlefield, watching for an opening or an ability to be ready to unleash a powerful attack on their opponent, before starting to run again, repeating the process. Fire-type kinfolk will perform well against Gaia and perform poorly against water. And now we'll move on to an example of what the Gaia kinfolk is like, so that you can see just how that playstyle gets countered. Gaia kinfolk use the power of nature to overwhelm their opponents, calling on their surroundings. They will use the overflowing stream of life to summon minions over the battlefield. Their main goal is to swarm their enemy with larger number of targets, making it difficult for them to focus on the source of the attack. A Gaia kinfolk could try to stay away from actual combat, relying on its minions to do the dirty work, or it can even be directly facing its opponents, using its minions as support in the battle. Gaia kinfolk would perform well against water and poorly against fire. As you can see in this example, nothing's going to stop you from outplaying your opponent and taking the win if you're good enough. Yes, fire might counter your minion style with Gaia, but that's not stopping you from maybe building different abilities to help your Gaia kinfolk deal with fire types, or just blatantly outplaying the fire type by clever application of your minions that they didn't see coming, or something along those lines. Moving on next to the kinfolk in general, I'm a big fan of pretty much all their looks myself, and even if you don't like some of them, you can't deny that they tend to be very creative and unique. Every kinfolk always leaves me excited to see more of its line, and the animations are also very smooth, especially when you consider that the game is still an alpha. I suggest you just take a look. You can go onto their Steam page or watch any of these videos like this and just get a good look at the different art styles for the kinfolk and see if there's a team you'd like to be playing with. Because as of right now, you have a team of 4 kinfolk, and there are currently 7 in the alpha, so you can take a look at it and see if any of the kinfolk there pique your interest. Moving on to skills now, the skills themselves that your kinfolk use. We once again see a variety of unique and fun skills, such as the ability to steal your opponent's item and use it yourself with Slifer, and then he also has an ability to toss it back at them for some good damage. Another power lets you toss out Ring of Fires that burns enemies that enter them, dealing damage and then applying a status effect that damages them over time, as well as staggering them. But my favorite ability at the moment is most likely Half-Speed Dig, which lets you quickly tunnel underground, avoiding all attacks, move quickly around the map, and even go under walls and other obstacles, allowing for some cheeky sneak attacks or buff-ups. Now, we move on to the items. Probably the weakest part of Kindred Fate so far for me, the part that is the least fun, I guess I would say. Most items are just not really that great. It's kind of, they feel you leaving wanting. A few of the few good items there are simply heals. While that's not bad, they're not the most unique thing in the world when it comes to items. What I mean by this is the other items are something like status cures. And these status cures, while they can be helpful, still don't negate the damage that, like that Ring of Fire I mentioned. you land a ring of fire on your opponent, and it damages them and gives them a status effect. This only negates the status effect, so you're still putting in an item that will only stop half of your opponent's attack against you, versus the healing items like the peach will just straight up heal you for half your health after you've taken a certain amount of damage, which is just significantly stronger and overall more fun to use than a status effect blocking item is. The other most unique item is the black mask that allows you to hit your opponents for an increased damage at the cost of your own health. While I think this could evolve into something that could be unique and fun, right now it doesn't quite fit any of the kinfolk. But I won't call it a bad item, and I won't call it a good item, because there could still be more to see in the future from it. Now for the graphics. The graphics have to be the best I've seen for an alpha game, honestly. As you can see from the gameplay running in the background, the game looks beautiful and will likely only get better from here. And the sound. We only have 2 songs in the game at the moment, and I think both are very nicely put together and match up well with the theme of the game. Until we see some more of the soundtrack, I can't say for sure how solid it will be, but I like all this music I've heard so far, so it looks like it's going in a very good direction in regards to the soundtrack. Lastly, I want to talk about the patches. This is, in my opinion, the most important of a game that's this early in development. The patches. We have seen so far a total of 13 patches, all in the span of about 2 months. Each of these patches contain not only bug fixes, but also balance changes. SkyMill has been very good about listening to player feedback and has had quite a few player suggestions, even some of my own, so I can speak from personal experience when saying this. So if you have something you want to see, please hop into the Kindred Fates Discord and let your voice be heard. They have a whole Discord channel dedicated to alpha suggestions that you can add or vote for yourself. So that's a great sense of community to the game. It feels like the devs really care about our feedback. They've also gone as far as on their YouTube channel for SkyMill Studios, in their community tab, the availability of voting for what you most want to see next in the alpha. So if anything I've said here doesn't particularly interest you and you wish that there's something else was in there, you can either suggest that yourself in the Discord or go over to the SkyMill Studio YouTube channel and then go to their community section and vote on it yourself, so maybe that what would interest you could get added to the game a little bit quicker potentially. But in conclusion, Kindred Fates has its fair share of bugs, but the devs are always working hard and fixing them. The balance issues the game faces are relatively minor, especially for an alpha, and the devs are also incorporating not only bug fixes but balance changes to literally every patch so far. I've yet to see such dedication to a game in such a short time, and I highly recommend that you give it a look, if nothing else, for SkyMill's extreme dedication to it, because that if there's something you don't like about it right now, as far as bugs or balance goes, I'm sure it will be changed in the near future, and it's very worth keeping an eye on. But thank you for stopping by. This has been Monster Tamer Bloba, signing off. Until next time, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Goodbye, and God bless. See you next time.